what's going to happen is we're each going to clap. Me, 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 me.
Looks like we found some loot.
This is the Console Crusade podcast. I never know how to start these things anymore. I just jump into it.
Anymore? You've never known how to start
It's
them.
always been awkward. Well, this is Console Crusade. We talk video games, retro video games, all the things, the news, the goofs. My name is EJ Olson. Today I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Nick Durheim.
I'm very proud of you. You almost got that all in one breath.
I was struggling.
Yeah.
Today, we have a couple things we want to talk about. But guess what we're going to do first? The inaugural listener mail segment. We're going to dive right into it before we talk Spider-Man. Nick is on the ground right now. Oh, he's on the ground.
I give up.
Okay. Sorry, guys. We're already completely derailed right now. I am going to read
it.
our listener mail. You can tell we've been having a grand old time over here together. Nick is red-eyed, sweating.
I'm stretching.
He's fucking done.
Having a rest.
We're going to start this off with listener mail, okay? And you can find us, on Twitter, at console_crusade. You can find me, at Press Till Death. Sorry, that's Nick. You can find Nick, at Press Till Death. EJ is on Twitter, at eJiggle. Email us, questions, comments, concerns, okay, at feedback@consolecrusade.com. So we've got some listener mail from a regular listener. Good guy. Well, he's okay. Let's be honest. He's all right. Let's not get carried away. Let's read this here. Hey guys, long-time listener, first-time writer, 3-time co-host. That's how I imagine he was writing it. On episode 30, the Jig Man himself, that's me, EJ, was talking about playing Dead Cells on a Switch in dock mode. Smart move. With a Pro Controller in his hands and headphones on. Well, his head. To which Nick said, "Oh yeah, headphones that reach across the room." EJ had no response. I'm writing to tell you, I have found a solution, and here it is. The PlayStation Gold headsets work if you put the little wireless dongle included in Sony's headset into one of the few USB ports on the Switch's nifty first-party dock. And now, it's a you with the power of wireless headphones. Who's going to say Sony doesn't play nice? This is from the Grand Gamer, the Console Crusader, Andrew Chavez. And serendipitously, this old son of a bitch is here today to defend these egregious accusations.
What accusations?
God damn it. Andrew, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me,
Your
guys.
computer's sitting here making noises.
I had a Windows Defender. It just scanned. There's no issues with my computer.
The Grand
Everybody-
Gamer, the Windows Defender, the Console Crusader,
Oh.
Andrew Chavez.
It was saying, I don't know what it was saying. I didn't look.
I'm really glad to know that your computer's safe.
Yeah.
No malware, nothing malicious.
I haven't looked at porn once on here.
Beautiful.
Shit fucking knocked me on my
So
ass.
it's the iPad's for.
Let's jump into this. All right, Andrew. Of course, ironically, our first listener mail segment, you emailed us to talk about this. And now you're here today. This was not planned. This just happened.
Yeah, I was just driving to work one day, and you were like, "Man, wireless headphones on the Switch. When?" I was like, "Man, I've done it a few times."
I got to take some issue with what you said here.
With what? How I misheard what you guys are saying? Because I was driving to work.
It's very accusatory, as if I was, offering a solution, and then Nick shut me down by saying, "You can't do that, idiot." I know that. I didn't imply his headphones had to be wireless. I just said, Nick, put some headphones on.
Nobody wants to use a 12-foot extension cord.
That's true. That's super stupid.
Nobody wants to do that.
But so honestly, though, you can put the dongle into the Switch, and because it's not Bluetooth.
Yeah, it's its own wireless receiver.
Well, it is Bluetooth, but it's Bluetooth to the dongle, not
To the
system.
dongle, okay.
Yeah.
But
It's like PS4 and Xbox One don't have Bluetooth headphone capabilities either. They just have USB ports that you can use USB headphones with.
Yeah, this also works with other PS or PC wireless headsets that have the little dongle boy. You just plug it on in, and it runs fine.
that's really good to know.
Yeah.
It's super weird too. If you get a USB to USB-C, you can actually plug it in wireless mode too.
Yep.
Or handheld mode.
Very cool.
So why has Nintendo not released their own wireless headset?
I mean, I would imagine that they might license one in the future, but they haven't been making a lot of their own hardware themselves as it is. They do the Pro Controller and the Switches and the Joy-Cons, and that's it. Everything else is third party.
It's just
licensed.
It's so silly to me.
It definitely needs a proprietary wireless thing. I mean, I wouldn't buy it. I got plenty of wireless headsets.
They'll probably just license one through PDP and just call it good.
That's fine.
Or I've seen ones that are literally, like I saw a Kickstarter for one that was a USB-C, one that you can plug into the bottom of your Switch, and it works with wireless headphones. And it even has a USB-C pass-through, so you can charge it while you're using it, so it's already a step above fucking iPhone and their goddamn bullshit. But then also, it comes with a USB to USB-C adapter, so you can plug it into your dock while you're playing that way, too. So you got options.
Either way.
I just thought people would want to know that.
No, I think that's a great tip. I didn't know that, and I do have the PlayStation Gold wireless headset. I am going to start using this.
No, if only you could get audio from two sources so you could use Nintendo's voice chat app.
Why would I want to do that?
Or even just use Discord on your phone. You can't take the audio from two.
Oh, that's true. Fair point. But at the same time, if I am playing a game that requires...
Actually, wait. The PlayStation Gold headset, are they cups?
Yeah.
Over here? So you just use your shitty AirPods, put them in your ear.
My shitty AirPods.
Have that connected to your phone for Discord, and then the PlayStation Gold's over that.
Right, boom.
Yeah.
Dunzo.
You got yourself a Stugo.
That's what I do, actually. I'll put one of the earbuds in my ear and then just have the golds over it.
That seems very uncomfortable.
It's so janky.
If a game requires voice chat, I don't care about game audio. I rarely will have game audio if I'm on Discord, I'll mute the game. I'll mute the TV.
You've never played PUBG.
But dude,
No, fuck no, I haven't played PUBG. I got way better things to do with my limited free time.
the Splatoon tunes are so fire.
They're great, but I'm yucking it up with a bunch of
Fucks.
Nintendo bros. Nintendo dudes. Makes way more sense than Nintendo bros. They both work.
And Nintendo's.
Wow. Anyway, we're moving on here. We're actually going to jump on a topic list here.
No, we're not. We're going to talk about games we've been playing, you motherfucker.
Or we're talking about games we've been playing?
Yeah.
Then we can get into the news.
Have we played anything new since the last time we did this section?
Yes.
Segment.
I've played like 3 games.
Segment. Where do you have all the free time to do this? I feel like we just recorded yesterday.
We literally played Splatoon this week.
Shit.
With good friend of the show, Leaf.
That did happen.
We played for a solid 30 minutes almost. It wasn't very long, but it was fun.
It wasn't long. Andrew, I want to start with you.
And Andrew, he hasn't been on in like a few weeks, so he's probably played a lot of things.
Andrew hasn't been on since pre-E3, which was more than a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I meant a few episodes.
That was only 4 episodes ago, but that was many more months ago.
I don't even remember what we talked about on that, except I wanted Splinter Cell.
No, we're
really
talking
bad.
about E3 predictions.
Yeah.
So we were all right. That's what I learned.
Don't listen to that. Well, you should download it at the very least.
No, you should listen to it.
Crusade.com.
Thank you.
Chilling like a pro.
He's a real company man over here. We appreciate you, Andrew. All right, we're going to start with you, though, because you've been playing some shit.
Oh, yeah.
Literally.
I've literally been playing some shit.
This guy has been playing WoW again. And I remember the day you texted me and you're like, I'm playing WoW again. And you're like, goodbye or something. I don't remember exactly what you said.
Oh, my phone's turned off. So I'm not gonna pull that text up.
I can find out here, but I don't even think I responded because
No, you didn't.
I was like, I was at work and
He took that goodbye very literally.
I was like, all right, that's the end of that.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Battle for Azeroth. It's they respect my time despite me playing 9 hours a day.
Oh, yeah.
Making a lot of gold, having a gay old time.
When was the last time you played WoW before battle?
Cataclysm.
Jesus, God. That was
How far?
That
How
was,
far is
that was 2010.
Yeah, I was going to say that was like 8 years ago.
Came out the same day as Black Ops 2.
Wow. I played Mists of Pandaria.
Yeah.
Played that for a hot minute.
Yeah, that was pretty all right.
I haven't played Pandaria. I'm thinking about making a Panda Boy once I'm done with...
I was playing some Pandaria. That was 2014, wasn't it? They do 2 years.
Oh, it
Usually
wasn't
every
that
two-
late, was it?
Every 2 years usually, but
Because they had
I feel
Legion
like
in 2016.
It was 2016?
It was
so.
13. It was 13 that.
Battle?
Pandaria.
Or, Pandaria?
Yeah, it had to have been.
I thought that they were on like a 2-year expansion cycle.
Usually, but I
So then it was 12. It had to have been 12 then.
feel
Was
like
there 2? Oh, shit, there was. There was Warlords of Draenor. That was 2014 then. Yeah. Oh, shit, man. I feel old.
Dude,
Yeah.
we are old.
I played Vanilla WoW.
the game's been around since
Did you really?
2004.
Yeah.
But yeah, I took an 8-year hiatus, and my cousin was like, "I want someone to play WoW with," and I was like,
How old's your cousin?
He's 30 now.
Okay. He's an OG.
Yeah, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get you a gift card, but you have to buy WoW." And I was like, "Why don't you just gift me WoW? Doesn't that make a lot more sense?"
Make this as obtuse as
No, let's
possible.
make this a chore. Let's give you some cash so you have the opportunity to buy Destiny in the
Well, I already
in
own.
BattleNet.
I already unfortunately own Destiny on BattleNet thanks to Humble Bundle. It was it was $14. Now they're giving that shit away.
That's true.
Okay, I got the expansion list right here. Burning Crusades 2007, Wrath of the Lich King 08. So only a year on that one. Cataclysm.
I think, Burning Crusade was early 07 and Lich King was late 08.
It was January for Burning Crusades. Cataclysm December 2010, Pandaria September 2012, Warlords November 2014, Legion was August 2016, and BFA was 2 weeks ago.
The fuck is BFA?
Battle for Azeroth, because the Horde and the Alliance are fighting
for the first time.
Yeah,
for the first time in years.
Well, yeah, they've been busy fighting like elder gods and other bullshit.
Yeah, but they need more allies to beat each other. So the Horde go to Wakanda/Mexico, and they enlist a bunch of trolls who are friends with gods. And there's like a shark god, a turtle god, a T-Rex god. It's insane.
Sounds like a terrible sci-fi movie.
Oh man,
like
no.
SYFY, the channel.
They do some good shows.
Lavalantula, Battle for Azeroth. it's
I can't wait for Lavalantula in 2020, man.
Snakequake.
But yeah,
Snakequake.
they've streamlined so much stuff since I last played in WoW, and I don't know. I'm having a good time with it. I'm holding out till Spider-Man, really.
Well, it's just a holdover.
We'll see if I bought 6 months, but we'll see if I'm playing it in a month.
I played a little bit of, like I said, Pandaria when that came out, and I had like a WoW vet. Like this dude was hardcore.
That's almost the worst way to get into it because I had a similar kind of experience.
You started with Nate, right?
Yeah, so it was a lot of me being like, I don't know what I'm doing. He's like, oh, don't worry, I'll run you through some instances, some dungeons, and I'm like, I'm clicking things, but I don't know why I'm clicking things.
Right.
So did you have that kind of same experience?
Yeah, and he had all these mods that he had me install that, HUD stuff and
show you your DPS and your cooldown.
Yeah, just like stuff that so I installed all this and was way in over my head. And so he was like, okay, go do X, Y, and Z while I'm at work. And so I would go around and do some of the lame quests, the fetch quests, just like super fucking boring shit, right? Like, I just want to get to the raids, right? I've played MMOs before. I know where the good stuff is, or I want to sink my teeth in to the meaty center. And I'm doing, like I said, fucking fetch quests in a field full of other noobs. I'm like, this is awful. And he would hop on and he'd pull me through. Like you said, I had no idea what I'm doing. What am I clicking? Where am I going? I have no idea what this is. Everyone is using jargon they've been using for fucking 14 years.
Playing WoW as a noob is like visiting a country where you don't know the language.
It's awful.
You're like, you need a guide. and then you're not going to have a good time because you don't know where all the good shit
They
is.
do a pretty good job of breaking you in now.
Are you saying I should jump back into WoW?
I'd say if you were going to jump into WoW, like, don't do a character boost and hit 110 right away. Like, put the dirty work in and learn how the game works, because it's way more approachable when you have like 2 skills versus like the character I put into Battle for Azeroth. I boosted right to 110 because I was like, I just want to play this. This looks fun.
Well, you played WoW before.
Yeah,
so you know the game.
I played it for 5 years, so I know how the game works. But a lot of things have slightly changed, differed, and it's easier to start fresh than to start at level 110, because when you start at level 110, they're like, you can fly, you have all your skills, you've got this nice armor with a bunch of extra perks for you to learn, and it can be very overwhelming to someone. So I'm not recommending everybody play WoW suddenly, because it's for a specific kind of no-lifer like myself. But if you are going to do it, you can play free up to level 20 and get a feel for it.
When is World of Warcraft coming to the Switch?
Nick actually said that to me a few days ago.
As a good bit.
As
a good bit, right?
Goof.
Yeah.
It's never going to come to
When's
console.
it coming to iOS?
That is much more likely.
You think?
If Fortnite's on phones.
You put it on iOS and Android, then you open it up to even more markets in East Asia.
After 14 years, I imagine it's going to sit right where it's currently at, and it's not going anywhere.
Just saying, if it's going to go anywhere, it's going to go to phones. And then if it's going to go anywhere after that, it's going straight to hell. You know what I'm saying?
I'll go with them.
Take me with you, Blizzard.
please.
Well, that's not the only thing Andrew's been playing, right?
I was going to say, this is the Console Crusade podcast, not the PC Crusade.
I've played some console games, and I'm using games in quotations.
Have you been trophy hunting again?
Yes, I have.
Oh, my God.
I got 6
His name is Mayo.
I got 6 platinums in the last 24 hours.
Jesus fucking Christ. How much have you spent on just shit games that aren't fun that you just wanted a trophy for so that you can
You want me to math it out for
jerk
you
off
right
on the
now?
podcast? Yeah.
Let's see. One
What's
of
the
them was
point?
5. There was 8.
Yesterday, yeah,
How
I
much
think-
was that Prairie game?
$2.
Okay. So
Give me
that's
just a
$2.
rough. Is it $30 or is it like $130?
I'd say like 20 or 30.
Yeah, probably like $30.
I'm curious, and this isn't to deride you. I'm curious because I've never understood the fascination with trophies and achievements.
Okay. Well, a friend of mine and I, we've just, we liked achievements on Xbox and switched over to PlayStation, and we liked the appeal of trophies more, just because I know on Xbox One you can see the rarity of achievements and all that, but a color like bronze, silver, gold, and platinum, it's just cooler than like 25, 50,
Sure.
whatnot to me.
What's your trophy level, Andrew? Just to give people at home a little bit of a
I'm
gauge.
loading my pro.
I remember, but I asked you.
I'm 27.
Yeah.
Is that high? Is that?
I don't know. I'm at like trophy level like 2 or 3.
I've never gotten anything other than a silver trophy, so I don't know.
I'm trying to load my account up.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you've gone ham in some games.
I think the one game that I probably,
Like even Horizon, you don't get like a gold for beating the game.
maybe you do, I don't know.
You do.
I guess what I'm asking is there a sense of achievement you get when a trophy pops up
Sometimes.
and you feel like, oh, I did the thing? Or is it like, because half the time the trophies are just what you get for doing something that's mandatory in a game.
Yeah, but a lot of times, like Witcher 3 has a lot of combat challenges tied to their trophies.
Okay. So it's giving you incentive to play the game differently.
Yeah, oftentimes with the games I like to play usually,
Okay.
yeah. But then there's games. Let me load.
So
Okay.
now you're trophy hunting for things that you aren't having fun playing. You just want to
oh man,
have that
yeah.
little
We'll get to
platinum
that.
number.
Yeah.
up there.
So right now my trophy total is 5,904.
How many of those are like important, difficult trophies?
Well, define difficult.
I don't know, maybe like 1,000 of them.
How many platinums you got?
49. 50 is going to be Spider-Man.
How many AAA games do you have platinums in?
Probably 15 of those.
So the rest is like indies and just
Telltale's bullshit.
Uh,
And then
Well,
some other
Telltales are
indies.
both bullshit easy trophies and also an okay time if you like the
Yeah.
franchise.
Let's see. So I platinumed Little Adventure on the Prairie twice.
Oh, you
is-
actually went through on Vita?
yeah, I downloaded it on my Vita this morning.
what is that?
It is a really shitty game.
It's a super trash game, dude. It looks like you could make that game in 30 minutes.
Yeah. So you're just a little anime boy, and there's no story, there's no text. You're just walking along, and you have like a really highly detailed sword in your hand for some reason.
Like they went to Photoshop and they just like selected the outline of a sword from Google Images and just
Put it in
pasted
his,
that in his little hand and he just swings it like
His
he
a
little
just
real
robot.
wobbles
clean
along, and he
PNG.
just goes ha 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 ha. He's just, like he's polishing an elephant tusk, and
That's
That is a very
that's
good
the
curve.
hand motion
Very
you're
good
doing.
curve.
and
Wow.
see there's 12 levels. They take about 30 seconds to a minute to get through, but there's when you get to Lava Prairie,
Oh
there's
shit.
a huge difficulty spike, and the enemies just start hitting you for like half your health. I don't know why, but I almost threw my Vita this morning doing that.
They probably submitted it to Sony and they're like, this game's too easy to beat. And they're like,
Yeah.
we'll make it hard, don't worry. And can we get a platinum, please? Otherwise, we're not selling this $2 game with cross-buy on PlayStation 4 and Vita.
Yeah.
Sony, I imagine this is like, there's an incentive there for them because they know there's a subset of people who will eat this kind of shit up. They will want to buy these cheap games that they can platinum quickly. So suddenly you can be anybody. And if you make a game with achievements, you have an instant
Yeah.
market and you're going to sell X amount of copies.
Well, Sony of America, I ask you, where is Slide?
The fuck is that?
It's the remake of 1,000 top-rated 4K images, the game, which is just a tile puzzle, but every puzzle has the same solution.
Jesus Christ.
And you get a platinum,
You
and
get
it
a-
costs like $4.
It costs $4, and I got my platinum in like 2 or 3 minutes.
So that kind of game, is that an oversight on Sony's part where they're just like, this is a game, yep, and they didn't realize that?
Hey, man, it's a free market, you know? Sony's making money off those purchases, too.
Yeah, they get a cut.
This goes back to our conversation, Nick, with Milo, where you were talking about what kind of gatekeeping should we have and how do these marketplaces curate what the things they sell?
It's all weird. How weird is it to own a business that you sell things? And I can't remember who was talking about it, but they're talking about, oh, I remember. I'm not going to shout it out, but they're equivocating Sony and Nintendo and Xbox's platforms as like a grocery store and saying a grocery store doesn't have every kind of mayo. But the thing is, they would have every kind of mayo if they had infinite shelf space, which is what a Sony, Nintendo, and Xbox situation has. They have infinite shelf space. It doesn't matter how many games are clogging up the stores because nobody's using the stores to browse anyway. They're just listening to YouTube and IGN and GameSpot and just being like, oh, this is the cool game this week. I'm going to buy that. So it doesn't matter what is available. It only matters what they're finding.
Fair.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, if Safeway or Walmart could house every brand of mayonnaise, they wouldn't do that because at some point you're going to confuse your customer and people are just going to freak out.
Are you paying attention to the brand and the kind? You're just like, I've heard of Jif. That's the peanut butter I'm getting. You don't look because they literally do have like 6 different brands of peanut butter, but it doesn't matter because you get the same one every time.
Well, when I shop, I am not a brand whore. I'm a huge sucker for packaging. Honestly, if the package is clean, has a nice design, it's got the right words on it. Like I don't go. There are a few things where I'm like, I have to have my, there's salsa, specific brand of salsa, sure. Noodles, yep, specific brand. But mostly other than that, it's like if you can be flashy, not look cheap, but
cheap.
But be cheap, right? Like there's a game that these companies are playing and they're marketing right to me.
Yeah, sure, and that's why you'll still have like appealing looking thumbnails on a shop page, but you're not browsing the fucking eShop.
That's why I never bought Snake Pass is because the thumbnail was shit, and I
had a bad icon, looked like the fucking mobile game icon.
That's all I needed to be like, nope, not gonna buy it.
Which is funny because that became a huge meme on the Nintendo Switch subreddit.
Did it really?
People like posting, this is what the icon looks like for this game. People like, oh, it doesn't have the name of the game. It just has a weird smiling face on the cover. It looks like a fucking mobile game. And then they'd be like tweeting at the developers, hey, change your icon. It looks bad. And then developers complaining like, I'm being harassed because my icon is bad. And it just turns into the fucking whole circle jerk on the internet about developers and their consumers. It's fucking wild shit.
You know what? Give us the option to import custom thumbnails for our home screen.
Nintendo, listen to your fans. We need custom thumbnails now.
Come on.
And folders.
We don't need working online.
We don't need folders. We don't need working online. We don't need voice chat. We need thumbnail imports.
Thumbnail imports! Fuck! Give it to me. Oh man, I'm hyped up now. Oh, all right.
When's Nintendo going to get trophies?
I mean, they had the stickers on 3DS, right?
If Sony could get along with Nintendo, then that means, check it out. If you play Minecraft on your Switch and you link it to an Xbox account, you can actually get achievements on your Xbox from playing Minecraft on your Switch. Imagine if Sony had cross-play with Nintendo and they had that same system. You know how much Rocket League you'd be playing on your Switch?
Yeah. They're just in the lead and they don't have to bow to
Here's
anybody.
The thing.
Yeah,
but they should.
If tomorrow Sony says we're not doing trophies ever again, the internet would be very mad for about a week, and then nothing about the game industry would change.
I'd be pretty bummed personally, but
you'd be bummed, but also you'd be like your high trophy rank will be just it's like a bronze baby shoe. You know what I'm saying? This is a time of your life that you can look back and it's held in pristine condition.
I want the Death Stranding platinum. It can't go away.
It's not even a game.
It might be.
Christ. It's a series of WMVs, bro.
It's a walking sim.
You can't platinum 3 music videos by Kojima.
I bet I could.
Wow.
Just like I platinum Suicide Guy.
Oh my god.
The fuck is that?
That game's on
rough.
Switch. That game is also on Switch. You're a man who falls asleep on the couch, and his beer is falling, and he's stuck in dreamland and realizes, oh, my beer's falling. I have to get out. And so you go through 25 different dream levels, killing yourself to complete the level.
It sounds like my kind of game.
Yeah, well, it sounds like your kind of game, and then you play it. And then you play it, and it's a mess. But
I was going by just the sounds the guy makes while he's walking and running around.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Are you serious? What? Are you making fun of me?
Well, yeah, that's what you said.
That's bullshit.
But there were some pretty
like
funny levels.
Tim Allen. Are you fucking kidding me?
It's the Shaggy Dog sequel that we never knew we wanted.
Oh.
Yeah. I played one of the last levels I played this morning. I was in a church and there was some hymns playing. Not for hymns.com, but hymns. And
don't go to that website. I don't know what it is. Don't go there.
It's for broken dicks.
Jesus fuck,
and hair loss. But you're in a church and there's hymns playing, so you leave it and you find a goat and a lighter. And you go, what could that be about? I'm going to bring this goat to church. It's probably Black Phillip from the Vavitch. And you put him in there and get the lighter, and you put the goat in front of the pulpit.
You're saying a lot of fucking things that I don't understand right now.
You're in
I'm
a church
following.
with a goat.
And a lighter.
You know where preachers stand?
The pulpit.
I put the goat in front of there,
Did
and
I just use that word right?
yeah,
Sure.
and I look
Great.
straight up, and there's a chandelier, but the chandelier looks like a pentagram, and I was like, oh fuck, I got to drop that on the ground. And I only know that because I watched a video on how to beat the level because it was aggravating me by this point. And so
Again, in a bid to kill yourself.
yeah.
Okay.
And so you get the chandelier off the ceiling, the candelabra. You light all the candles and you put the goat in the middle, and then you go and you look behind the pulpit and there's a little cassette tape that says metal, and you put it in the radio that populates all the levels to give yourself the stage music. And then you go and you read the Bible, and it says something in Latin that relates to the devil, and a giant demon comes up, and then he kills you. And I was like, oh, that was fun.
That's the final level?
No, that's like the third to last.
Doesn't want to spoil the ending for those who want to buy
Yeah.
this game for $8 and get a platinum in about 2 hours.
Fuck those people and fuck that game. That's my official
You
stance.
can also buy it on Switch and not get a platinum at all. And go,
So is this a real game?
Yeah, it's fine. It's just like a bad little indie walking puzzle game.
So I feel bad, I don't want to sit here and
No, I
shit on.
No, I bought these games knowing they were shit.
But
And they're not complete shit. Like, they're okay.
Little Adventure on the Prairie is complete shit. I will say it.
Okay, yeah, that one's shit. Destronaut was not complete shit. It was like just a cheap little like
Yeah.
Space Invaders kind of game.
Super Destroynaut DX is a pretty fun game.
Like, it's fine, but it's not a game that you would buy if it didn't have a platinum.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So it's like that tier of really, really cheap Steam games that you would get for literally 25 cents when it's on sale. But instead, it's like a few dollars on PlayStation, so you can get a trophy that doesn't matter in real life.
fucking silly.
It's
My
weird.
life
I
doesn't
get
have a
it,
lot
but
of
it's
meaning.
There you go.
Oh, Andrew.
See, EJ, you can fucking attest to that. Come on.
Yeah, hey, listen. Just because I'm also deeply unsatisfied with my position in life does not mean I'm going to go spend my hard-earned dollars on
Are you telling me that you've never bought something that you didn't need to make yourself feel better?
fuck. Oh man.
Thanks for having my back, Nick.
Oh wow.
I'm here for you, buddy.
Like I said, Andrew, I'm not trying to.
No, I
I just don't get it.
Yeah, that's fair. You'll never understand my trophy grind.
No, I just.
You played Bloodborne co-op. You will never get it.
Wow.
Fucking casual gamer.
Wow.
I mean,
all right.
I played it. I enabled you. I played it with you. So
You did, and there's no other way I was going to play that spoopy game. Listen, I was all excited to play Sekiro, and then I watched more gameplay and realized it's also spoopy. They're like scary
Tiny ass
giant
mask.
zombies. I'm like, can I just get a Souls game that doesn't scare me? I just want to fight some shit, but I don't
Okay,
want.
how about like Dynasty Warriors?
That's a totally different kind of game.
That's not scary because the enemies are fucking
It's also a
trash.
completely different combat system, and it's not difficult.
you can play God of War. It has triggers for combat.
Hey, those Draugrs are spooky, all right?
They
You cut
are.
them in half.
Oh yeah, that's true.
See, a game like God
And
of War
they're
didn't
screaming.
spook me out though, but like Bloodborne scared the fuck out of me. I
You
didn't want
didn't
to
even
play
get to
that
the
game.
first boss.
In Bloodborne?
No, in God of War. Well, you did get the
Yeah, I
first
fucking
boss.
did.
You got to the lake.
I opened up the open world, and then I was like, "This
Did you
is
hear
boring.
that giant snake? He has a very deep voice.
He was
I'm not even gonna try and.
Is that Charles Martinet, the voice of Mario?
Yes, that is
Jormungandr.
indeed. I'm
The
trying to
world
think
serpent?
I'm trying to think of the Parthenax. This is
Does he do
is the guy-
Parthenax, or he did the
Charles Martinet did Parthenax.
Did he do Parthenax?
Yes.
So he also did the dragon in the Souls Cairn. Andrew, you know what's his name? The big dead dragon.
In the Souls Cairn,
Yeah.
in
Scrim.
Dawnguard.
Yeah, he also did that voice.
Night
I
Vale.
don't remember what that dragon was
Fucking
named.
Night Vale,
Man.
Dawnguard, all the same.
It's a good bit, dude.
What's Nick been playing?
And
What
Nick's
have
been
you
playing
been playing?
games too. God damn it!
You've been playing
Well,
Dead Cells.
I was just gonna say I've been playing a little bit more Dead Cells. I got a little bit further.
We both got a little bit further. in
You've
that
gotten
game.
further than me, but I've gotten to the 6th area, and you beat the 6th area,
So,
or you got to the boss. I did that in like one run. Like I played a few times, and then I finally played on my TV, and I was having a lot better time because I actually
Yeah,
I had it's a better experience for me
infinitely better.
because I had the volume turned down. And I was hanging out with people when I was playing it the other day, but this time I was playing at home and I was focused. So I had a much better time. Kind of figured out kind of the loop that I was feeling good about with the exploration and just killing a bunch of enemies. Because before I was just doing the thing where I was not fully committing to either attacking a bunch of enemies or running through really fast,
Right.
which you really have to dedicate yourself to one of those strategies
You never run through.
unless you fuck up.
You gotta just grind those cells, bro.
But the thing is, you were telling me that you've been doing some basically speed running the first 3 areas, so you get that one door that closes down.
Right.
Unless
I
you
did
get
that
there.
once, and that was after the run of my life. And I said, I'm just going to do a speed run and blast right to the boss, just to like do it.
Right.
But I got no cells. You got to grind for cells, especially in the early game where you're getting like between 15 and 30 or 40 a run.
Well, I was going to say, I just never fully committed. So I'll be like, I'm going to kill a quarter of these enemies, not get many cells, and then run through. And then I would miss the door time. And then I just was low on cells and was just fucking up a bunch.
And you're not finding all the scrolls or the weapons.
And I'm not like timing my attacks well. I'm playing sloppily. And
Right.
it definitely punishes you for playing sloppily. I had to get myself back into the swing of things, back in my mojo.
Mojo.
So I had a really good run. I finally afforded my second health flask, so that was really nice too.
Oh, so nice.
Necessary.
I got to the boss, it killed me. I continued honing my skill, and I got to the boss the second time. But this time because first time I got to the first boss, I had 2 turrets, and that was fine. But the guy kept fucking me up, and I was missing my dodges because I'm a dumbass. But the second time, I had a wolf trap, whatever it's called.
Dude, the wolf trap, you stick them and then you fucking sinew slice them.
You stick them and then you stick them. Because I got him with the wolf trap and then got one of the turrets, came out of the sinew slicer, one of the other ones. But I just cheesed him basically. And then I was like, okay, cool. I'm doing a really good run. I got a yellow weapon on my main at that point. I had a yellow weapon on my secondary. So I just had 2 fucking badass weapons.
How did you get 2 yellow weapons?
Because I'm a fucking pimp, bitch.
Okay.
It's random.
Well, I just explored thoroughly every time I went to a new area. Because you were talking about last week that you liked the teleport system.
Yeah.
And the way I had been playing, I was playing like you. I was playing like a gunner. Every time I found an area, I was like, I'm just going to go here. As opposed to doubling back and exploring the rest of the place I was in. So I just thoroughly explored every single area I got to.
I don't
and
leave
I found
an
a
area.
yellow weapon.
I don't leave an area
I
without...
got a badass fucking new weapon.
I've never found a yellow weapon that wasn't from a boss battle. Or an elite.
And I got my second yellow weapon from the boss.
I found a few gold weapons throughout.
But I was kicking
The
ass,
early
man.
areas.
I think my
Okay.
max stat was at 8 or 9. So
Okay.
I was doing good. Got to the Black Bridges after that.
And
then-
no, the boss. The boss is Blackbridge.
That's okay.
Yeah,
and
and
then
then
the fishing village thing.
the village.
Oh, the
yeah.
fishing hamlet.
Yeah, the fishing hamlet, like Cos, or some say Cosm. That's never mind. But yeah, that area was fine. It was cool, like doing the little doors. I like how each area has like these mechanics that are kind of specific for that area. So in that
Mhm.
area, you're looking for these keys in the doors.
Didn't that one... The village feels a little more Metroidvania-esque.
Yeah, a little bit,
A little bit. Still, you know,
but also more linear. Like it's more straight across, and there's just buildings that you're climbing up, as opposed to the weird like
going underground.
tunnels and shit that
Oh,
you're
yeah.
going inside the main area, or even like the toxic sewers.
Right. Dude, the clock tower, though, in the next level...
Very vertical.
But it's so confusing because you'll go up way up to the top and way out to the left, and then now I have to go all the way down and to the right, and then I got to teleport back and find my way. It's much more difficult.
Yeah,
to
and at
navigate.
that point, I was kind of sweating, because I was like, I've gotten way too far.
Right.
Like sometimes you play these games, you're like, I've gone too far, and I wish there was like a bonfire I could go back to
too far.
and like spend my shit, but you can't go back to spend your cells or.
Mm-hmm.
And after the boss fight, you get that blacksmith, and you can upgrade your chance of your drops,
Right.
your drop rate chance. And I was like, man, I want to fucking keep spending at the blacksmith every time I find him. But he's only after that one boss so far. So I think it's just after bosses you get to him, and then
Yeah.
you can boost that chance permanently. But I'm like, I don't want to fucking unlock anything. I just want to fucking boost my chance of finding things. But I
Right.
can do it.
You want to unlock. I mean, I had the run of my life right after I unlocked. So I now have 2 health potions. I've got random melee and random starter bow.
That's nice, yeah.
So now I'm starting with just a leg up. I've got the 10,000 cash. So I start with a buttload of cash right at the beginning. So now I'm going through, I'm buying shit. So I'm way stronger by the time I get to the boss. I've upgraded everything to get the modifiers I want, and then get the boosted damage output. So now it's like I get to the point, it's like if I can get through the levels, sometimes the levels are a little easier than other runs, right? Sometimes it's just, you run into the elite in a really bad spot.
Oh god, yeah.
You know what I
And then
mean?
you try to run away, but they have the teleport thing.
Yeah. So
Fuck.
that's always just a bad run when you run into one of those guys. But conversely, if you got some good traps, you get him down, you beat him.
Or you
know.
have some grenades and he doesn't teleport to you when you hit him, so you just fucking cheese him from the corner of the screen like I've
Right.
done a few times.
Right. But once I get to the boss, it's like the concierge, I've gotten to a point now where, the other night,
He's bitch made.
yeah, I mean, he hit me one time, and that was because I just barely dodged
One
his
shot.
fire late. Right? Yeah. Fuck you. Yeah, earlier I said to Nick, what did I say? Verbatim. It wasn't I one-shotted him.
No, you're like, I got to the boss with one hit.
Oh, right.
And I was like, you beat him in one hit? No fucking way. And you're like, no, he hit me once. That's a bad way to say that.
So, because I beat the boss once before on a really lucky run, but every other time I tried to fight him, I died. So then I got to this run. It was actually a really bad run. I was with my buddy, and we were playing. He's watching me. He's like, damn, dude. Like, I had crap weapons. I had no HP. It was just a shit run. And I get there, and I fucking just whooped his ass. And Adam looks at me. He's like, damn. I'm like, yeah. Like, what? That was unexpected. But part of it's having fought him multiple times. And it's like, okay, I know
you
his pattern.
You get that pattern down.
Yeah.
You know what's safe, what's not, what his tells are.
And so, but also, I'm playing the game now to maximize my, we talked about last time how you've got 3 categories: survival, brutality, and tactics. And so I just upgrade my tactics the whole time, which was weird because I like to go in with a sword, just gunning, right? But it's like, you know what?
Yeah, I've been focusing heavily on brutality just to get my DPS up.
But dude, the traps are the most important
Check
thing.
it out. By the time I got to that fishing village, those big dudes with the cannons, I was 3-shotting.
Okay, fair enough.
So I would just wail on them, and then I got to the point where here's the thing, my yellow weapon gave me 1% of my health back every time I hit someone.
That's really nice.
So, but it also increased the amount of damage I took. It doubled the amount of damage I took.
Is that worth it?
Yeah, definitely, because I would get hit, I would get knocked down to half health or whatever, and I would just gain all my health back because I was fucking them up.
Okay, so if you're playing really strongly,
don't get hit. That's all you gotta do.
Don't get hit.
Saying?
Don't do it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just don't get hit. That's how you gotta play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So Andrew, how far have you gotten in Dead Cells?
I get stuck in the cock tower always.
Cock tower. That fucking.
I'm just like, I'm always high when I play it, and so.
Who's the timekeeper? Who's the guy?
Yeah, the timekeeper.
Hey, you there?
Yeah.
The fucking samurai jackass looking motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jackass.
I fought him probably 5 times now, and I have yet to put like any sort of dent into him.
It's all about those traps, man.
Oh, and dude, I love using the traps. I run double arrow ballistas usually with different perk setups, and it.
Okay.
No, you gotta like actually trap him so he doesn't move.
Yeah, you gotta wall trap his ass.
I just roll around and chase him.
You just a roll dodge.
It doesn't work well, but it's what I like.
That's fair.
It's how I like to play the game.
What's interesting to see, I was playing so focused on one kind of build, like I have to get through the concierge into the next spot, right? But then you get through to the next boss, and it's like, okay, what's going to be most beneficial here? Because it's not, and I imagine as I go forward, it's not going to be just dumping everything into traps and tactics. And
yeah, probably not.
And you can re-roll your mutations from
right.
the mutation seller, so that's pretty beneficial. So you can have like, oh, I want to gain health when I kill enemies, but that's not going to help you against a boss. So you can re-roll that into, getting your traps
cooldowns,
better. Cooldowns down, or your grenade cooldown down.
Just when I thought I was like kind of over this game because I wasn't progressing fast enough, and I was like kind of burnt out in the same run. Boom! I get through the village, I get through the clock tower, and I'm like, all right, I'm making progress again. And then it's like, oh, I got twice as many cells that run than I ever have. You dump that in, and so I still feel like the grind is just too long and the progression is too slow. I don't know how many runs I've done now. I mean,
I'm surprised you've put this much time into it, honestly.
It's just, I did, like this morning, I played it literally all morning. Like I woke up at like 7 a.m. and I literally think I played it like 2.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, like I just sat in bed and played all fucking day. I'm addicted to it. It's really good, man.
Right on.
If you're listening to this, you should be fucking playing it. But Spider-Man comes out. I'm taking Friday off. Dead Cells is gonna get put to the back burner pretty quickly.
Right. Well, it could be your travel game too, because you're not gonna be hauling your PS4 up and down.
This
is you doubt this, man? No,
come on. I'm not gonna. Yeah,
you're not gonna do that.
No. Remote play though, depending on how
Don't try it.
Oh, you're not gonna fucking.
Don't try it.
Don't.
Oh, damn it!
Spidey has the high ground.
Oh shit!
I love a good Prickle meme at IRL. The highest ground is true.
I did get the Messenger on Switch. I haven't played it too much.
I feel like we're already running out of time, and I'm like, now I got to talk about the Messenger, and I got to ask Nick about Into the Breach. We're just gonna keep going.
I'll just talk about it in 30 seconds. It's like
Ninja.
Ninja.
You take your time, brother.
It's like Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden.
The music's really dope.
Excuse me, it's pronounced Ninja Gaiden.
Okay.
Sorry. Please continue.
Shouts to the game chasers.
All right. Yeah, it's super fun. It feels nice and sticky. The pixel art's great.
Music sounded good from what I heard.
Music is really awesome. And you get this cool little demon boy to save your life when you die, but then he takes away your level up currency, about 20, 30 of it. Until he's satiated, is what he says.
You can never satiate a demon boy.
Oh, I'm learning that.
So I heard that the first half of the game is really good, and it's just a great sort of spiritual successor to, the Ninja Gaiden series. But then halfway through, it turns into like some fucked up Metroidvania, and it loses all steam.
I've played it for about 2 hours, so I can't really speak to any of that.
Oh,
I didn't look at it. I didn't look at any reviews. I saw the trailer and said, "Oh, I want this." And I did.
It seems like on paper you'd almost look at it and say, "Oh, that's interesting. Like, cool for them for like." Expand in, this sort of this genre and dip it into a few different kinds of games, and it's a throwback to a few different NES staples. But then in practice, I don't actually see that working out well.
Metroidvania is the new online pass.
Metroidvanias are just the indie. That's what indie games strive for.
Yeah.
Right. But it
Makes
seems
sense.
weird
It's
to
that
go
or roguelites.
from like an action platformer to.
I'd rather them shoehorn a Metroidvania than shoehorn a roguelite.
Oh, definitely.
Wow.
If you're gonna mash up two things, like
What are you saying?
I'm just saying that that's also a very common thing for indie games to do, is like because it makes it more replayable and it reaches out to a streaming audience.
Sure.
Which is what a lot of indie games like try to rely on to get the sales and the notoriety that they are looking for.
Sure. What about Into the Breach?
Into the Breach came out this week. I bought it yesterday. I've played it for a grand total of about an hour, so
Okay.
very
Okay.
early
All right. Okay.
impressions.
This
But-
got announced at the Nindies Direct, which
Right.
was, in my opinion, very
Oh
disappointing.
yeah, it's pretty weak.
The only thing I got hyped on was, okay, Hyperlight Drifter's coming to Switch in a couple months, which we finally got a date for
Coming
that.
out on what, Thursday?
Yeah, it comes out like this week or next week.
Yeah,
It's
it
like
comes out on Thursday.
What, Hyperlight Drifter?
Yeah.
I
September
thought that was like a
6th.
November game.
No,
No,
day
September.
before Spider-Man.
Wait, really?
Same with Undertale. Undertale is like the 18th.
Yeah, I
Oh
think
my
so.
God.
Yeah, I think Hyperlight's this way. I think it's on Thursday.
And then we got
But-
Into the Breach was the last surprise announcement.
Yeah, which I was very surprised by because I had heard like some coverage about it for it being like a PC game. Same people who did FTL, if that's a game you've ever heard of, kind of a roguelite because, an indie game. But this one is unlike FTL, which was like a weird story kind of roguelite. It's like a choose your own adventure kind of thing. This is more of a tactics kind of game. So you get that isometric tile-based view. You have your troops that you start off with, and each of your little encounters that you have is on an 8x8 grid. It's the same. It's not like some different area. It's just an 8x8 grid, and you have enemies spawning. And what you're doing is you're trying to attack and kill the enemies. Where you were looking at it kind of as like an Advanced Wars or a Fire Emblem, but because of you're not upgrading your characters that quickly, it's not as RPG like in that way. But it's just you have low health, like 3 little bips of health. They've got like 2 or 3 bips of health. And what a lot of your attacks do, at least from the characters I have, is a lot of pushing. So what you'll see what your enemy's next move is going to be. They're going to attack a certain square. They're going to attack in a certain direction, that kind of thing. And you're trying to save these buildings. So it's a defense kind of game. They'll either try to attack a building or attack you. So what you're doing a lot of the times is either trying to kill them or push them into water, which kills them, or push them in a way so that they attack either like a mountain or they'll attack another alien. So it's more tactics and strategy than it is the RPG of just running around on a grid, kicking ass, and having like a weird weapon triangle. It's less about that. But I think I would want you to check it out and give it a try because I think it might scratch that similar itch, but it's also way more strategic and punishing. So you might not like it because you're the kind of guy who likes to rewind turns. If you fuck up or like save scum, can't do this in this game. You get like one try. But it's also iterative because it's a roguelite. So I haven't actually encountered this yet, but from what I understand, when you lose the game, the whole like essence of the story is that aliens have won, and you go back in time to try and change that. So every time you lose, you send one of your characters back, and then you start the game again with that character. So if you've leveled up a character really high, then you could send him back and have like an OP start. So instead of having like a long-term progression, it's like a iterative next game kind of thing.
And so, but every time you go back in time, the scenario is different.
I would imagine. I haven't tried it out yet. I think it's the same.
Scenarios change somewhat.
Because you have environments. So the first island that you go to, it's this like, It's got a kind of cool aesthetic too, where all these corporations own these islands on this future planet. I don't even know if it's on Earth, but these corporations own these islands. They have this sort of specific environment to them. So the first area is just normal. It's got some forests that you can burn, and then enemies that are on forests will take damage, or if you're on a burning forest, you'll take damage. This sort of environmental kind of things, and then different enemy types will spawn in that area specifically. And the next area I've gotten to is the desert. So it's got different problems, you know? But the first area is a lot of just basic defense, you know, defend these buildings or take out the Vec or, you know, what have you. But the second area I've gotten to has a train that sometimes you'll have to defend. And it's just this moving kind of target, and you can't block the train or else it'll kill you. Or if an enemy blocks the train will be destroyed. And then that changes the objective from allowing the train to be delivered into defending the train. So it's kind of has a progression in that way too.
Is this a game you envision playing beyond today or tomorrow?
I don't know. I've only played an hour, so I don't know if I am stuck in the loop yet. But also, it seems like a very easy pick up and play kind of game, and I have it downloaded, so I have like very little reason not to give it a play for half an hour.
Sure. I want to try it. When I saw the direct, I said, oh, that looks like my cup of tea. And then I learned a little more about it, and I'm like, okay, maybe not. I don't know.
When I die and I lose this round, I'll let you play for a little bit.
Yeah, I'd like to check it out. But unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but unfortunately for the indie games that were announced last week, Spider-Man does come out Friday.
I'm excited.
I'm going to be taking a day off. I'll be jumping in Saturday and hopefully putting a good chunk of time in and hopefully enjoying it. But we all know it's coming out. We've talked about this on the podcast. Okay. We thought we had just an easy run up to release, right?
Yeah, everyone's stoked on it, right?
We thought it was
I'm
just
not.
and why is that, Andrew?
What the fuck happened to my puddles?
Puddlegate 2018. Just when you thought you were safe, out of the frying pan into the fucking fire. No, there's a fire because they took the puddles out.
They can't quell those fires. Those puddles are not deep enough.
So it started with the puddle, right? Some Twitter user posted a side-by-side of a scene in a warehouse where Spidey's about to fight some thugs.
A typical Arkham encounter.
Right. The puddle on the ground beneath Spider-Man in 2017 screenshot had a giant old puddle, very reflective, all, you know, very ripply, very beautiful puddle. I liked it very much.
It looked wet as hell, dude.
Yeah, dude, it was so wet. Oh, those water physics were out of this world, dude. And then 2018, the puddle is just a little teeny tiny little blip in the corner, right?
Can't believe it.
The textures on Spider-Man's suit were bad. The black levels were crushed. It just looked so terrible. And I am peeved. I don't want this to be another Watch Dogs. I don't want this to be another Aliens Colonial Marines. I don't want to be screwed by these big old developers that are trying to steal my money with bull shots.
Bull shots. Well, to be fair, I look at some of these screenshots. The 2017 screenshots look a lot better in a lot of these. It's not just the size of the puddle. I know that's easy to latch onto.
I only saw the one that was comparing the same scene where you're talking about with the puddle and the dudes. Is there a higher like resolution screenshot of the second one?
It's easy to fool people through Twitter compression.
Well, not only that, but it looked like they took a screenshot of a 480p video.
Yep.
And instead of a screenshot, they took a picture with their phone from their computer screen. It looked like a really bad like picture. So I was like, immediately, this seems suspicious. But also, I'm very well aware that games change throughout development. And I don't feel like Insomniac has that track record of making games look really good and then putting out a game that is severely cut down.
No, but it's also, I understand why they do it. Like they want people to be wowed and ooh-nod at these games conventions. And then when it comes down to it, they're like, oh, we can't even maintain 30 frames per second. So we have to dial some things back.
Yeah. I can't defend that because you're advertising a product that doesn't exist. In the case that you just mentioned. For me, it's more like the compression on one video looks worse than another.
It's not the compression. It's you can tell in the lighting effects, like that compression is not going to change the way the light is reflecting off of Spidey's suit, or the shadows are affecting the detail on the things on the like.
Or it did, but now it doesn't.
Vertical slice versus a whole game are never going to compare.
No, and
That's just a fact of life.
Some of these changes,
as a grand gamer, I can say this.
As a grand gamer, as a console crusader,
a Windows Defender.
The screenshots, honestly, it's like it doesn't look worse. It looks different. And so some of the people at Insomniac, they've been going back and forth with Twitter users, like, the graphics have been downgraded. The puddle size is different. Okay, and then people are like, well, what about this, and this? Oh, it's a different time of day, so the lighting is different.
But they don't have a time of day change in the game. There's no like day-night cycle in the game.
Yes, there is.
Well, someone was like saying that there wasn't a day-night cycle. The shadows were the same for Spider-Man, but
I've been pretty dark since E3, honestly.
Who the fuck knows?
There has to be a day-night cycle. Like, there's no way you're just running around New York and it's perpetually 3 p.m. Like, there's
or it could be like
0%
Yakuza,
chance.
where you have to do quests in order to make it nighttime.
Yakuza will
But I doubt
time
that.
lock you until you do the main story mission.
It seems more of an open world than the Yakuza games.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. It just seems like it's just a weird thing. It's a weird thing to happen the week before a game that it was like sort of universally looked forward to happens. But it's kind of like an inevitability because of how big this game is.
It's Manhattan.
But
it's Spider-Man.
The other thing, though, that people comparing it to like Watch Dogs, like Spider-Man still looks beautiful. Watch Dogs looked like shit when it came out. And that's people were like, it's not just that things are different. It looked bad when it came out.
I was going to say it was more that Watch Dogs was the first look at that generation of games.
Yeah.
It was a game that this was before people knew what PS4 and Xbox One were even named.
Everybody has one of these.
So I've got a little bit more of I can give that a pass because who even knows what their dev kit hardware was at that point.
I mean, I don't know how true that is.
But it's just you think of it and you think of these other games that got a really bad rap when they came out because they were nothing like what they were demoed out to be. And it's tough to be like, hey man, Spider-Man looks different. I hope it's not another No Man's Sky. Even though that's like not likely to happen. But it's a bad thing to stress out what was before a game you had nothing but hype for.
Some of the Twitter responses have been, I'm getting a phone call here. So I had the Twitter pulled up on my phone. I'm gonna bitch button this person. They're not gonna like that.
Fuck you,
One of my favorites from Dan Marshall. Just been doing some research on #Puddlegate. Turns out construction sites are specifically built in a way so as to prevent any pooling of water over 50 centimeters in diameter for safety reasons. So actually, this is added realism.
I like that. My favorite one was the game cover featuring a quote from one of the Insomniac developers saying, "There are other puddles in the game that are much bigger."
You're probably breaking embargo to say this, but there are definitely large puddles in Spider-Man. Shut up.
This is weird shit.
It's really bizarre. I don't think this is going to be an issue once people get their hands on the game.
But not even just the puddles, but also people were getting a little bit upset about the DLC that was announced like a week before the game comes out.
Well, let's get Andrew's take on the puddles here, because I know he's a very wet man.
I'm so upset. No, I don't
He
care.
doesn't give a shit.
I don't care, man.
What about the DLC then?
The DLC, yeah, again, I don't really care because like with Horizon Zero Dawn, I was very excited when they announced the DLC, but it came out 9 months after Horizon Zero Dawn came out. So I bought it, I booted it up, and I said, this is going to sound very familiar for Kind of Funny listeners out there. How the fuck do I play this game? What the fuck is this?
What are these buttons doing?
Yeah. Right. Who am I? Why am I here? What year is this? And so I just put it down and I never played it.
Well, you're in Colorado and the year is 3.
I know I'm in Colorado.
I'm fucking with you.
Spoiler alert for Horizon Zero Dawn.
You haven't played it by now, fuck you.
Yeah, God of War just got that new game plus. I'm toying with playing it, but it's also, man, I haven't played that game in some months, and my save is on the hardest difficulty, so do I really want to try?
You're not jumping back into that,
So do
man.
I really want to try New Game
No.
Plus? I do want to try photo mode out. I never put a handle on that.
I just wonder what the point is of putting out these DLC packs a month after the game comes out when you know what else comes out a month after Spider-Man? Every other fucking game in the world. You're not going to be like, you're not going to compete with your Spider-Man DLC against the likes of Call of Duty and Red Dead Redemption. I'm sorry. If they put this off until like spring next year, then you're going to be able to get people back in.
I think the way they're trickling it, it's like, okay, you got to at least keep some content coming, and the big one might be
In January.
right when there's, you know, a little more room in the market. But people are crying about it because they're screaming, you know, cut content.
be on the disc.
Right, and it's like, did they make a complete game and then commission DLC?
Or even if they made a complete game and then said, hey, we can charge more for this, then that's fucking fine. You know, if you choose not to buy the DLC, then don't buy the DLC. Then you have nothing to complain about.
Well, people are thinking that this game isn't going to be complete, and then they started throwing the number around. Oh, I hear it's only 20 hours to complete this game. Like, they cut content, and I'm getting an incomplete product.
Then don't buy the game.
That's a good solution, but also
I just think nobody is entitled to buy Spider-Man, the entire collection, whatever, for the price they choose.
Yeah.
If you want to buy it for cheaper, then you can buy it next year for $40, $30, whatever.
With everything.
Yeah.
And that'll definitely happen.
it's not business
But-
practice that we should be supporting.
Fucking who gives a shit? You know, if you're a consumer, then vote with your
I
wallet.
care!
Well, if you're a consumer, then you should be able to have the one who has the developer bent over a barrel because you have the keys to your wallet. They're not stealing your money.
Yeah. I just want to play a Spider-Man game. I don't care how long it is. I'm probably going to spend like,
You want to
gonna-
play a Spider-Man game that isn't shit out by Vicarious Visions.
yeah, I'm probably going to get home Thursday night at 9:10, wait till 9:30 for the game to install. And then I'm going to just swing around for about an hour and a half, and maybe I'll do something, and maybe I'll just go to bed. Who knows?
Punch Mary Jane in the back of the head.
I'm going to find Aunt May
Don't
and
fucking do
rescue
that.
her.
I'm gonna throw Aunt May to a crocodile.
I'm going to give Miles Morales a spider suit.
Listen, guys, something that people weren't talking about with the graphics upgrade, I was watching actual comparison videos, and a lot of the things look a lot better. Facial animations
Oh, yeah.
look so much better a year
those,
later.
Those usually get dialed in a lot better.
And some of the character models, I was like, everything looks smoother, everything looks cleaner.
Oh, definitely.
Unless it's Mass Effect Andromeda, then it never gets better.
God,
Yeah.
what a disaster
That's
of a
mostly
game.
due to just how they scripted all the events in that game.
And also having to make a game in a new engine.
New engine over like 5 years.
And switching even the art pipeline to a new engine
Not
a
great.
year before the game came
Yeah.
out.
Not great.
So ridiculous.
Well, Spider-Man comes out this week. You know what doesn't come out this week?
Red Dead Redemption 2.
And that's true, but we're
Easy
not talking
answer.
Red Dead. We're not talking Red Dead. Something that's not going to come out probably this year or even next year.
I bet it will.
I don't believe it.
End of the year.
Cyberpunk, dude.
When was the first Witcher 3 video, like actual
They showed Witcher
gameplay?
3 behind closed doors at E3.
No, gameplay that they showed to the public.
They showed it at like 2013 maybe.
So that was 2 years before the game came out.
Yeah.
I just-
Well, it
I
came
have
out.
no-
It came out before E3 2015. It came out in May.
But still, that's like 2 years before the game
Yeah.
came out. So if they show video now, then that means that there's likelihood that that game is not coming out till 2020. And CD Projekt is not like losing money by not putting out a game. They constantly get sales on fucking Steam and GOG. And
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
They own GOG.
So let's talk about this demo we saw that was randomly streamed
long
on Twitch
demo.
one day.
Yeah.
40 minutes.
40
Yep.
I watched 2 highlight videos with commentary, and I scrubbed through the actual demo. I could not.
Oh shit, my legs.
I'm so ready.
I hope they keep that. I hope they have an in-game way to slow down enemy dialogue so you can just do your cool
if
little
you do
drug boost.
if you do drugs, everything you get bullet time.
Oh, I love that, dude. That game's not going to come out in Australia.
Nope.
They have very strict regulations about positive drug use in video games.
Yeah. I'm so ready for Cyberpunk, man. Like I remember seeing that trailer like 6 years
That wasn't
ago.
a trailer. That's
The CG
that cool
announcement.
little the music video they
Yeah.
put out in 2012.
Dude,
That was
think-
6 years ago.
let the
Fucking
record show.
shit.
Let the record show. I love music videos relating to games.
That's very true. You're stoked on Death Stranding.
Oh, man.
But yeah, they finally showed gameplay. They've been showing gameplay behind closed doors to games media since this E3.
Whoa.
So like 3 months ago. And they finally decided after Gamescom, well, you know, let's put that on the public. And it was like heavily disclaimered, like, this is not final gameplay. Everything you see in this video, we're trying to do, but no guarantees, no promises. There's a little fucking watermark at the top of the video, not indicative of final footage, you know? So they're trying to kind of nip it in the bud before we get another Witcher 3 scenario where like, those trees look like shit. Geralt's shadows are very bad.
Geralt shadows.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Meanwhile, 3 years later, I'm playing Witcher 3 with NVIDIA Hairworks at 16x.
And EJ over here is Witcher 3 is the best looking game in the world if you add this mod and this mod.
I don't
and
even
if you
need
have
to-
I didn't say that, you
1080s
fuck.
and SLR.
I don't even need to add mods, and I'm just so pleased with how it looks on PC.
Listen,
It's a good game.
Nick,
Good
you're
looking game.
referencing my thoughts on the God of War, which I think is not a very nice looking game.
But then I try to ask you what the best looking game of all time is. And you're
I don't know, man. I can.
That's a 10.
That's the sound of me eating ass.
oh, don't want to get that hepatitis, bro.
Hey, man.
No, but
You get Hep C from eating some poop, dude. You don't want to do that.
That's why you eat the ass, not the whole poop. I want to eat V's ass.
This is
I do.
very family-friendly conversation.
We're
a family show.
Oh,
Nothing brings
Alex
family
Jones.
together quite like.
Are you guys upset that Cyberpunk is a first-person game?
No.
Me
It's
neither.
a shooting game, and third-person shooters don't control that well.
I agree with you there. This game looks generic as fuck, though. Nothing about what I watched was like,
Yeah.
this exciting. It's like, okay, this is kind of gray, and you're shooting things, and it's kind of sci-fi-ish. There are a lot of boobies.
And especially since they're
Okay.
saying this is not indicative of final gameplay, then we don't know what can stay in the final
Yeah.
gameplay, especially since they're aiming for PS4 and Xbox One. And now that this game looks fantastic, but it's a very big game, a very populated game, and that's a CPU hog, not a
Yeah.
graphics hog. So I'm more worried about getting the AI to work right and getting a lot of populated areas
Oh,
because
definitely.
this is a dense city. It's like Grand Theft Auto if Grand Theft Auto was good.
Well, how many NPCs did they have on screen at once?
Like-
None of them duped.
More
When they
than
walked
20.
out, when they walked out of the apartment, there were like what 80.
It
On
was
the
some
main
hard to
street.
tell.
I
Very
can't,
big number.
I can't look at a group of people and say this is this many people. It looked like a lot.
It's a lot of people.
More than a video game I've ever seen.
Holiday shoppers. This is sort of unrelated to what we saw, but when Cyberpunk does come out, I hope there's a quest line to uncover the Witcher Netflix series or whatever.
Oh, that's never gonna happen either.
Oh man, I know it's never going to happen, but it'd be a super funny quest line to be like, "Oh man, we heard a rumor of this ancient show."
I just want one of the upgrades that you get instead of being the mantis blades is you get a steel sword and a silver sword. So
That'd
you
be
can
cool.
kill robots and monsters.
Robots.
Robotos. Yeah, no, I want this game.
There's some really cool little things that they showed, like your weapon upgrades seemed like there was quite a bit of variety going on there. They had a cool weapon thing where your reticle was basically half the screen and then homed in to targets. That's badass. And you have this cool shotgun, you get the whole time, you're sliding around, shooting someone's leg off in slow motion.
One thing I really liked about that shotgun is one of the times they reloaded, they still had a shell in there, and it was a 3 shell capacity, and they only put 2 shells in. And I was
Little
like,
details
ooh,
like that.
Ooh.
The little things.
Does this make you interested in the game? Honestly.
No, it's just a cool thing to look at and to wonder about.
yeah, that's
What's
it's
the
a
point,
good time
A,
frame.
of showing it now? And
People
B,
are stoked.
Did they do a good job of building that hype? Did anyone walk away from that saying, "Oh wow, this looks like the next big thing"?
Well, I don't think it was intended to be like a marketing thing. It was very much this is what we're showing to media types
Yeah,
because
you've probably heard about this.
we've been working on this for 6 years and The Witcher came out 3 years ago. And if we don't show something to the media, then we need to be in that cycle. We need to be talked about. So it's less a marketing to the people and then a marketing to the games media. And then people were asking for it a lot. So they kind of got kind of put into a corner in that situation.
Yeah.
This is, I think, destined to fail. The long dev cycle.
But The Witcher took a fucking shit ton of time too. When did
Yeah.
The Witcher 2 come out? Like 2009? 2010?
I will check.
I mean,
Like that was a long time ago. And
So,
The Witcher 3, you like a lot, and a lot of people liked a lot. That
I mean,
game sold very fucking
A
well.
4-year proper dev cycle is different. I mean, if Witcher 2 came out in 2010, how
Witcher
long was that
2 came
supported
out
with-
in 2011, but Witcher 3 started development in like 2009. It was a separate team. Like they
Yeah,
pulled,
they do a long pre-production. I would imagine that Cyberpunk was in pre-production since 2011,
it has.
2012.
That's absurd to me. And then
Polish. Who knows?
Well, they're not.
They're getting money
not,
from the government to make this game.
Oh my
They're not
God.
having to reskin Novigrad. They're having to build what is it called, Heat City or something?
It's Night City.
Yeah, Night City. They're having to create a whole new city with high rises and underbellies.
Yeah,
and
it's not a field.
freeways.
Wow.
We're not swinging a sword at a Griffon.
A Griffon.
We're
No,
taking
you're-
taking inhalants and shotgunning
You're
a
buying
spider robot.
You're buying a robot and then shooting at the man.
Listen, I want it to be successful. You know, when I was watching it, it reminded me a lot of KOTOR, like being on Terrace, right?
Yeah.
In that big old city, and I was like, that's cool. I like the aesthetic.
It reminded me of like the new Deus Ex games, but if they
Yeah.
were like extremely bigger.
Yeah, like Mankind Divided meets Fallout 4.
Yeah, or like Grand
Grand
Theft
Theft
Auto.
Auto is what Nick said.
Well, it's got the bad driving down, so fucking
Yeah.
done.
Bingo.
Bongo.
I don't think much. Honestly, this was
It's just
Did not move the
it's
needle.
a first look at a game that's 2 years out, and I don't think anybody had high hopes for God of War when they had that first reveal. So this is just a really long version of that.
I definitely
shut
did.
the fuck up, Andrew. You loved Ascension, right?
No, I didn't.
So,
but I am a shill generally. So, Constant Crusade podcast.
Yeah, right. Everyone was excited for God of War after that, Nick.
like, what about Spider-Man? Were you stoked for Spider-Man the first 2 times you saw that?
Yes.
The first time he swings through a building and you're like, oh my God, it looks kind of cool. Then the second time you see it, like, oh, it's a lot of QTEs. What the fuck is
That
game?
did scare me, but I was
Yeah.
like, oh, we're getting a proper Spider-Man game from a real
So this
developer.
this is actually a game as opposed to a music video that we made with Blur
Yeah.
and we paid them $3 million to make a cool
Not
little
about
tone,
that either,
tone piece.
but
Was backpedaling to Spider-Man after Shattered Dimensions and Web of Shadows.
Excuse
all
me,
those.
it's sharded dimensions.
Yeah, that's right. Sharding Sphinx. After those segmented level,
we're adults.
the segmented level Spider-Man games, I've just been pleading to go back to open world with Spider-Man.
and
Probably they didn't
since-
even show an open world
probably
until like the
since-
third time they
yeah,
actually showed
probably
it. So.
since like high school. So like, I've been.
There's a 0% chance we saw those and then anybody doubted it wasn't going to be open world. It had to.
They saw Insomniac tied to it and
Yeah.
went, yeah, this is the Sunset Overdrive sequel.
It's also the fucking people who made Ratchet and Clank. That wasn't an open world. That was a level-based system.
Yeah, that's true. Those levels are fairly big though.
So just saying.
You're right.
Don't
when
fucking
when you're
make
right, you're right.
assumptions.
I hope there just isn't a loading screen when I go into Soho.
Dude, that would be incredibly
That's a neighborhood,
irritating.
Manhattan.
What's
for-
that funny neighborhood from South Park? I was trying to make a cool little joke.
Soto Sopa.
Soto Sopa, yeah. Imagine I made a cool joke to Soho, but with Soto Sopa from the South Park, where they have a cool little Whole Foods.
Insert laughter here.
Welcome to Shitty Pot Town.
Anyway, yeah,
Insert-
Cyberpunk. Whatever. I don't think EJ is ever gonna be stoked for that game.
No.
No.
But that's fine.
It's a very me game.
I'm more stoked for
It's a very lot of
Red
people
Dead.
game.
And I am not stoked for that game.
You're not stoked for Red Dead?
No, because I feel like
You've never been a fan of any Rockstar
No.
game,
that's absolutely not true.
Really?
I
I thought-
love GTA 5.
really?
Bought it 3 times.
Yep, me too.
Love that game.
Me too.
Really great.
Just because you buy something a bunch of times doesn't mean you've played it a lot.
I beat it multiple times. I bought it multiple times.
That's what he said.
Really,
I beat it and I bought it.
I'm polishing an elephant tusk.
Polishing that elephant tusk at dusk.
When Nick does a bit, he does this thing. He's just like a fucking caveman, like giving birth. You always do that thing, and it makes me laugh so fucking hard.
It's perfect. It spices it up. You know, it's the pepper on my sandwich.
You're really feeling yourself. Fucking kills.
I'll just say, I'm excited to be a cowboy. When I watched that horse peel out in front of that vista on a mountain,
Do you think there's gonna be horse drifting in this game?
dude, there's like a team of 100 people making these horses.
Okay,
all right?
so you know the races, the racetrack things you can make in Grand Theft Auto 5 with the online. Can you do that but with horses in this game? The same exact tracks, but you're just on a horse.
doing loop-de-loops
Doing
and
sick
going on
loop-de-loops.
boost pads.
Got to watch
Dude.
out for the rising water.
Dude, yeah. Oh, I hope so.
Okay, honestly though, and you guys are gonna, or Andrew's gonna hate me for this, but
Tell it to me like it is.
when I look at Red Dead Redemption, I think to myself, this is Grand Theft Auto, but without the cool guns, without the cool vehicles. I can't go fast. I can't fly. I can't climb big things. It's just slow
mountains big
and,
things?
and dark and weird. I just don't, and I
Dude,
don't, I
yeah.
just don't get it. I mean,
No, that's
so
fine.
The characters were cool in Red Dead 1, but again, I've talked about this, how I played that game after I played GTA 5, after I played Skyrim, after I played AC4. Concurrently, I was playing Witcher 3. So I'm like, that game
Yeah.
to me was just fucking shitty and linear. I was like, okay, the characters are cool, but this game is 11 hours too long. This is way too
Red
long.
Dead Redemption
Mexico was a bad
is
idea.
yeah, Mexico. But the song when you go into Mexico, it's a game about
It's
the
all
quiet.
worth it.
Yeah, well, it's a game about the quiet moments, and cowboys are definitely a niche audience, especially when driving is the main appeal.
Why can't they just do it like, let's do Cowboys but make it fun? Let's do Dark Tower.
That would be cool.
Can you
Maybe
fucking
maybe there'll be
imagine,
a
my
Red
guy?
Dead multiplayer mode. I just
Can
want
you
to.
imagine Rockstar
I just want to
making
have a
game?
posse with my friends,
No,
holding
listen,
up in a fort, and
I'm glad it's a
Fortnite.
prequel.
yeah, without
'Cause-
building.
It's we're still at the end of, the outlaw era.
So
but
is Red Dead Redemption 3 going to be a prequel to Red Dead Redemption 2? They just keep going back 15 years?
Yeah.
just go back to the height. I'm glad we're going back a little bit, so it's like we'll get maybe a little bit
Well,
more.
it has to. The last game ended with like people having cars and
you
shit.
You get the car at the very end of the game.
Right.
The fuck?
The sequel to Red Dead Redemption is Grand Theft Auto.
I'll be curious to see how much Marsden will play a part in Red Dead 2,
Yeah.
and if he becomes a main character, and or if he's just going to be a cameo.
Dude, I think he will. I feel like this Arthur dude, because they never mention him
in the first
in
game.
Red Dead Redemption. Like
Right.
he's not brought up once. It's Dutch. You run into everybody else. Everybody else is mentioned, but this Arthur fucker, I think he's dead super early on, and you have to be
Curtains
John
for
anyway.
Arthur.
That would be the sickest fucking
Because
plot twist, dude.
I already
That would be dope.
I already paid it off. I'm ready to play it, but
I'd be all about that. If
got
they plot
7
twist in the
weeks.
first hour and they kill the main character, and then you're just fucking John Marsden, that
Hero.
would be awesome.
like I think he's gonna have more than an hour. I'm exaggerating just a little bit.
Sure, secret fan service. Love it.
The fucking like physics of the mud when he in that reveal trailer they had
I'm
where he
all
just
about mud
falls in the
physics.
mud.
Why is that
and
what
it's
people
like,
grasp onto?
dude,
You
it
see
was-
the dog on that horse?
Look
Jesus.
look at that mud.
Come on.
I'm more impressed by the horse testicle physics.
Yeah, the horse
Listen,
balls are crazy.
The game looks beautiful.
Like a fucking wind chime hanging.
I'm gonna
from
buy a
that
4K
beast.
Come
TV
on.
for it.
You're what?
I'm gonna buy a 4K.
You've been in the
TV
market for
oh.
a 4K TV for a while.
It's been about a year, but
Shocked
I
you
just heard
haven't.
Samsung shipping an 8K TV in 2 months.
Never
and
buy a
now
Samsung product. Samsung's garbage.
You're telling me, man, it cost me $350 to fix
So-
my phone screen.
So we had a buddy who worked. I don't know actually what was he doing when he did this. Was it when he was at the airport? I think it was when he worked at the airport, and they'd be loading freight, into these planes, right? And he's like, all I would put through is Samsung TV returns.
Going back to fucking where?
I don't know.
All the way across the ocean?
Yeah,
The deep blue wet?
probably.
To get fixed somewhere, but he was like, and so this is obviously anecdotal, but he was like, "Don't buy Samsung products, bro. That's the only thing people are returning is Samsung
Oh, that's
products."
like Sam fucking when he worked at FedEx was only throwing along like Bowflexes and shit. They're so goddamn heavy.
yeah. So of course, take that with a grain of salt. But to me, that's all I needed to know, man. You never invested in it. Also, Samsung products explode. Like, that's all you need to know. This shit was a literal bomb.
Yeah.
Don't go LG. Save yourself the fucking hassle. Go LG or go
Unless you're buying
LG
a phone.
byproduct.
Life's
Then
good.
like wait every few years to maybe get an LG phone.
Are they even in the phone market right now?
Yeah,
Yeah, they just put the G7 out. We have the same phone.
we both have the same LG phone.
You guys just
Actually, no,
good
yours is
iPhones,
the
man.
Plus.
Yeah.
You've got that more internal memory.
LG plus.
I have
No
100
micro SD slot.
No, we
Oh,
both
yeah.
have that. Yeah,
Oh,
there's my
damn.
Chris.
I have 128 gigs on board and a 256 gig card.
I've got like 32 and then a 128.
You can fit so many mobile games on there.
I've got a lot of 4K videos that I'm
Yeah. I just download porn.
in 1440p,
Yeah.
60 frames per second.
Gotta
baby.
polish my elephant tusk somehow.
At dusk.
Alrighty then.
When I hunt Sabertooths in Red Dead Redemption, gonna need something to watch.
Wolverine's
while I polish.
brother is in Red Dead Redemption.
Dude, Lee Schreiber,
Where's Logan?
FTW, brother.
Hey man,
Best part about the movie.
that was a terrible movie, but he was a excellent cast.
a
Yeah.
beacon of light.
I love that man. He's so
He's
great.
great.
Loved him in Goon.
Never saw that.
Goon,
Good movie.
Goon is good.
It's about hockey dudes fighting each other.
Goon is the sequel to the Goonies.
It's also the prequel to Poon.
Nick, you're just a fucking, just a weird rhymey jokes. Elephant dusk.
No,
and
to be
tusk.
fair, there actually is a Goon
What did
too.
I say?
Haven't
Yeah.
seen it yet.
yeah, it's
came
I
out.
think it's on Netflix. I think.
This is the Netflix Crusade podcast.
Guys, we're gonna have to wrap up soon because my laptop has 13%.
Well,
Okay.
pick one of the topics that you give a shit about.
So there are a couple things that may or may not interest me. One thing that we're gonna quickly mention.
Well, I like that you really gave us that. gold chestnut
Andrew's like, let's go. All right, up, Andrew vape.
Of a disclaimer.
Hit that vape pen.
No.
Hit it.
No, I can't.
Nick
He's
up,
just
bro.
thinking about it.
Nick up.
I don't want this episode to be lost.
Okay, listen. No matter how bad this episode is, it's not going to be worse than
This episode is good.
Max getting mad at me because I was not as
Hey.
autistic about fighting games.
Hey, subtract 5 seconds from this podcast.
This episode might be the Japanese Mario 2 of podcasts, the lost levels.
If I have anything to say about it, this podcast will go up. Okay?
You're not recording tomorrow.
That's for damn sure.
No, fuck no, I'm not. I'm going to be
It's the
hungover
holiday.
tomorrow. And I'm going to drive back to Eugene to work.
I have to go to work tomorrow.
Anyway, guys, Shovel Knight's getting released again with DLC.
Do you think this is going to be the final?
I hope it's the final DLC.
Because they did do that. They did a survey last year asking like their Kickstarter backers, and I think they just posted on Twitter also, basically asking, "Hey, what game would you like us to see? Like, see us make? Would you want us to make like an RPG? Would you like us to see like make us What am I even saying? Holy fucking God.
Make
Did
it sound-
you hear me right there? I was having a serious stroke.
Dog,
Pardon.
stick your tongue out. You okay?
I can't feel my left arm.
Fuck.
But they asked if people wanted to see them make an RPG or a Metroidvania or a fighting game or what the fuck ever. But who knows? That could be like the next project. That might be another fucking Shovel Knight add-on. They've been making this game. When did the game first came out? 2013, 2012?
I think it was.
For fuck's sake.
I think it was like 2013.
It's been look
this up for us.
The
Dre.
next thing comes out April next year. So it'll be 6 years
Day
worth.
before 420, my dudes.
Oh, hell yeah. It'll be 6 years
What
of
year?
Shovel Knight. 420. The year 420.
Let's see, what fucking year is that,
That was
man?
a long time ago.
420 what?
June,
can't wait till
June
April.
26, 2014 is the initial release date of Shovel Knight.
Okay, so 5 years of Shovel Knight.
And hey, listen, I appreciate that they're still updating this game. Each time they release a new character, the game completely plays differently. That's awesome. But part of me now wants every boss as DLC.
Yeah, at this point.
Like, how cool would that be?
Well, all the bosses are going to be playable in that showdown battle mode. That,
Oh, right.
They can't get Shovel Knight and Smash, so they make their own.
Hell
Fuck,
yeah, dude.
I want a Shovel Knight too. I don't want a Metroidvania. I don't want an RPG
want
necessarily.
Super Shovel Knight.
I want whatever the fuck they call it. I want a whole new game, new levels, new bosses.
I want to eat mushrooms and get big.
You know?
I want to ride a Yoshi.
why did you say it that way? Yoshi.
I want to ride. I was doing fucking
The guy from Princess Bride? Why?
the insult comic dog
Oh,
from Conan. What's that dog's name?
I don't fucking know.
Victor? Victory?
Did you say Michter?
No.
Anyway, Shovel Knight.
That's the wrestler. That was the bad guy in Iron Man 2.
What's your percentage at now?
Where is my board?
I want my board.
I want my board. I don't know why it's so funny, but every time you guys call me a
Victor
Birdman, I'm just like Bortman.
I want the board.
I want my board. This is not my board. Listen, Iron Man 2, underrated flick. Mickey Rourke is the fucking man.
Yeah, dude, and
The latter is true.
and the other guy that was in Galaxy Quest.
Tim Allen.
Dude, yeah, no.
It's the only one I can think of.
No, Snape.
Snape,
Alan Rickman.
Severus Snape.
No,
No.
the guy that has he's like the red shirt, basically.
Yeah. Justin Hammer, he plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hammer.
He was also great, and I'm pissed they haven't brought him back.
Eddie.
MCU.
Eddie.
No.
Sam Rockwell. Yeah.
Sam Rockwell's badass.
He is. This is the Rockwell Crusade.
He's really good in
Oh,
3 Billboards.
Baby.
He plays a racist.
Yeah, racist cop.
Well, no, so something interesting as far as DLC.
I mean, yeah. I mean, is it DLC if you don't pay for it, or is it just like, here's more stuff?
Let's call it add-on content.
Add-on
Yeah.
content. This leads me to our next topic.
Ooh.
This is peripherally related.
Oh.
Why? What are you doing, sexy Nick? Here
Peripheral.
to talk to us about Peggy in-store purchase ratings.
Downloadable content. Oh yeah, the Peggy.
Talk to me about this.
Forgot about that.
Peggy 16.
Dude, that's the best part about.
So Peggy, they're basically the ESRB of Europe. They're adding a distinction for games that have additional purchasable content in the game, and that was a big kerfuffle that happened last year, obviously, with the whole Battlefront 2 bullshit, and everyone getting real mad about things for a good reason, because it was a lot of bullshit. But also, I would much rather have because ESRB is not a government body. It is everything. It's game developers and console manufacturers basically say, yeah, we agree to this, just to keep the government out of it. It was started because of Mortal Kombat 2 and Night Trap and other bullshit that you can probably find on a better podcast than ours. But Peggy adding this is a cool step, because I'd rather have that than fucking Bulgaria or whatever saying, hey, we are not legally allowing video games that require purchasable content or have purchasable content, because they don't understand what is good and what is bad in that regard. And a lot of people can't even agree on that either, but I think it should be a consumer right to say, hey, I want to buy this thing. And whether it's allowable should be not like enforced by a government body, because that's the same reason why the gambling corner in Pokemon, like Red and Blue, was a contentious topic, because it's teaching our kids to gamble. But it's not like you're not spending real money on that. It's just a dumb little mini game. And sure,
Right.
gambling is bad and you shouldn't teach your kids to gamble. But it's just it gets in this weird territory where I don't want a government body to be like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
So,
Also, why is gambling bad?
I don't know.
It ruins families.
But it doesn't ruin families if you're a Native American on a tribe preservation grounds, because they're allowed to do whatever they want on their land. So it gets in this weird territory where the only reason people go to these native lands is because they've got gambling and you can do that. And then it's a weird fucking thing. It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
There's no gambling, but you can buy a lottery ticket. Weird things.
Right. Here's the thing. Gambling doesn't ruin lives.
Oh, I know.
Idiots ruin their own lives.
People with addictive personalities ruin their own lives. And guess what? Guess what happens when that alcoholic stops drinking and is sober for 10 years? He's replaced that addiction with fucking food or gambling or cigarettes or something. That addiction has not gone away.
Elephant tusks.
We don't treat these elephant tusks. I'm a collector, you see?
I'm addicted to beating off.
It's just it's addictive personalities, and we don't treat the root cause of the problem. We treat the vice as video game addictions. Like,
Hey man, it's in the book. That's a real thing now.
the book.
Whatever there's different.
Yeah,
World
video
Health
game
Organizations.
addiction is not a disease.
No.
People with addictive personalities who don't have the
Self-control or willpower or
addiction, I think, is something that is, and I think there's a lot of evidence to this, that it's inherent to people when they're born. Like, but it's not, I'm predisposed to being an alcoholic, I'm predisposed to being addicted to X, Y, and Z. It's like, it's how you're wired, and
you have
to
the capacity
combat that.
for it. You're more likely for that to happen.
More
to.
apt to
And my
fall
big
into
thing
that cycle.
personally is I don't trust the motivations behind a government body saying, hey, we don't want gambling in video games, because their main motivation is we don't want to be not paid for people gambling in video games, because they get literally the like the lottery, like the Oregon lottery, whatever lottery you're part of, is a tax. Like if you buy a lottery ticket, that money primarily is going to the jackpot, but it's also going to making new roads or building schools or shit like that. And if these companies are making money off of their in-game gambling as viewed by the government, then they're just mad that they're not getting theirs.
Right. It's not, gambling is bad and bad for you.
It's not a consumer. It's
you.
not trying to protect a consumer. It's trying to give money to themselves.
Andrew is being very mum over here because he used to be a skin trader in CS:GO, and he's a very sensitive subject.
He's like hunting beavers and getting their pelts.
Sorry, no, he's hunting elephants and getting their tusks.
I did. There was a couple months where I was opening crates in PUBG and I'd sell the rare shit. Like, for some reason, people love to buy hoodies in that game.
Yeah, and it's weird because in the Steam marketplace, they've not received a lot of like press about it, but literally in CS:GO and games like
was a hot
PUBG,
topic about it. What, 2 years ago?
Well, it wasn't a hot topic that people were making money. It was the gambling that people weren't a fan of. But you're literally gambling when you open a crate and you don't know what's going to be in the crate.
Yeah.
You know what the chances are, but you don't know what's going to be in it. So if you spend $5 on a key to open a crate and you get something worth $25, and you can literally trade that to a person on the internet for $25, then that gets into a weird thing where you literally are gaining money as opposed to I might get something that is a good thing or I might get something that's a bad thing.
I sold a hoodie for $110 and I used it to buy games.
That's just weird. And that's weird.
It was insane.
It's weird that Steam doesn't get, or Valve doesn't get the same kind of flack that EA does. It's just people love to hate EA.
It's fun.
They're an easy target.
I get it. It makes sense to me.
Yeah, and they fuck up a lot.
Cancel Visceral? You kidding me?
Yeah, they fucking kill.
Kidding me?
Too many studios.
Yeah. And
this is weird shit. So I think that the rating thing that they're adding makes sense, and I feel like the ESRB might follow suit. They've been really weird about it, where they've kind of doubled down by saying, hey, we don't believe this is gambling, and this is why. Like, you don't actually get money back. And Steam, like, Valve doesn't have to get a ESRB rating because they're only selling their games on their own store.
Yeah,
so they don't have to.
It's user trading.
Yeah, so it's just really weird bullshit.
Did you guys see, I'm jumping back here, but one of the guys from Anthem, they were doing a press conference or something, and he was talking shit about Spider-Man, making fun of the Puddlegate.
Really? No, I didn't see that. That's funny.
Yeah, during the presentation.
It must be PAX, right?
He made some comment about puddles. He's like, don't mind that puddle there. There's a 90% chance this gets removed before the final
That's
game.
so fucking funny, dude. Props on that guy. Props on that
You
guy.
fucking roasted him. Yes, I appreciate that. But
Boom, roasted.
anyway, I've got like 9% of my laptop, so this is where the console crusade comes to a close. This has been an Off the Rails podcast.
Oh my God, has it?
It was fun.
I had a good laugh.
Love to
Dre?
have Andrew on with his dour personality.
I try.
We
Thanks for having me.
we'll definitely we'll be
droopy.
I'm done. Well,
the droopy cum sound. Is that what you basically
yeah.
post coitus?
Yeah,
I definitely said that.
Post-coitus. Shout out to Pablo Francisco, hardest I've ever laughed at a stand-up comedian with bits and pieces.
R.I.P.
Fucking, I don't know how long ago.
Nah, he's probably still alive. I just don't pay attention.
that dude
He's immortal.
was so funny, and then he blew up. And I swear to God, this is all conjecture. In case anyone's listening, I swear to Bob, that dude was like doing hella cocaine. His next stand-up, he was out of control, dude. I
You,
was like,
you could count every vein in his neck.
dude, he was just like, he was insane. I'm like,
The number was like
Pablo.
69.
chill. Console Crusade Podcast. Find us online at _crusade on Twitter.
What the
Do
fuck?
you want me to say it?
Andrew's the professional shill. EJ's fucking
Yeah,
up
no
over
shit.
here.
ConstCrusade.com. Feedback at ConstCrusade.com for letters. You should write them because I'm going to write more.
He's going to continue
You're
writing.
gonna have some more questions for us next week.
Yeah.
Our next bit is going to be just a letter from Andrew every week.
Hey guys, how are you liking Spider-Man? I think it's okay.
It's just this lonely kid at home, latchkey kid, looking for a fucking
My mom
friend.
says
Looking
I
for a
need to-
father. That's so fucked up.
Do you have a good relationship with your dad? Me neither.
You're hitting a little closer for me, bro. Oh. Keep writing us. We'll read your letters aloud.
And maybe you could be featured along the grand gamer himself.
The grand gamer, the
knows?
Console Crusader,
Who knows?
the fucking Windows Defender. Oh, Dre Chavez, the Winter Soldier himself. Oh,
I'm like,
Sebastian Stan.
yeah, I'm just normal Stan now. I don't have the hair.
Sebastian Nintendo stand. Call back.
Ayo.
What's up? Okay, first time we did a podcast together, Andrew, it was via Skype.
Yeah.
And when I was editing it, I fucked something up and like accidentally added this weird gap. So I'll be like, the Winter Soldier himself, Andrew Chavez. And there's like a 9-second gap. How you doing, man? Good to have you. It was so awkward. I listened
yeah.
back to it. I'm like, fuck.
I live for that kind of
It's-
shit.
That's so weird.
Makes
That's
people
so
check their phones.
Yeah. So anyway,
Shit working?
as Dre said, feedback at consolecrusade.com. Twitter, you can find Andrew. Okay. You can find him at Chavez.
2
H's.
H's.
Well, 3 total, but not in a
There's one
row.
after the C.
HHCHAVES.
Oh my. I don't know. That wasn't a bit. You just completely fucked up, didn't
I
you?
fucked that up so hard.
Oops.
Okay.
It
All
makes
right.
sense.
It's been a
That's Zed
day,
in
folks.
British.
Yeah, right.
EJ's at E-Jiggle, Nick's at Presh Till Death.
Thank you.
And that's
No, don't stop me yet.
the way the news goes.
Don't stop me. I'm going to clap again. Get your fucking hands off it, Dre.
clap for us, audience.
I'm going to stop here. I'm going to start here. Woo. Clap, clap, clap.